Ingram, and this is our Ingram Angle special Chicago Town Hall, a city in crisis. We got Ukraine-gate and impeachment drama consuming the airwaves. It is easy to forget the crisis unfolding on America's streets and the problems being ignored as we retreat in our political corners. Well, we were here in Chicago a year ago, and at that time, we promised the people in these communities and our audience in general that we'd be back and we wouldn't let these issues go. And tonight, we're here to fulfill that promise. We return to assess how life has changed or not for these violence-plagued neighborhoods, and whether the relationship between the communities and law enforcement, whether it's improved or worsened. The city is still being brutalized by gang violence and bloodshed. And what are the political leaders doing about it? Last year, Democrat Rahm Emanuel was finishing up his final year as mayor. And now, in her first year in office, Mayor Lori Lightfoot is facing a number of serious challenges. A looming teacher strike, an unacceptable level of gang and drug violence, and a city running out of patience. We'll explore all of it with our live audience and expert panels. But I want you to understand what's happening in the area we are broadcasting from tonight. We're here at New Beginnings Church, and it's situated in one of the most dangerous neighborhoods on Chicago's South Side. Now, do you see the red circles on that map? Well, those are the homicides that have occurred just this year alone. And children are too often the victims of the violence here in Chicago, as our own Raymond Arroyo found on the south side of town.
We're a few miles from tonight's town hall in Harvey. Now, the violence here is intense, and to give you a sense of just how intense the violence is, in the city of Chicago, there have been 300 homicides plus just this year, over 1,600 shootings. And to bring it home for people in this community, the house behind me belongs to Kentvania Blackful. She's 12 years old. Earlier this week, Kentvania was making plans for her birthday party. Her family was watching the Bears game when around 9 o'clock at night, a group of men approached the house and bullets started flying. Her family hit the deck. Kentvania didn't get up. A bullet pierced the front window and struck her in the back of the head. She died on her birthday. Members of this community are still shaken.
As soon as we heard it, my daughter was in the back of the house, and she got down, told her to get down. And I came out after they were out, and they were, crying and stuff and screaming and hollering. It was so scary. That could have happened to us, this random shooting.
Everyone is pretty much scared. Kids around I'm hearing they're not sleeping well. It's just bad. We shouldn't have to actually see this senseless type of violence ever. Pretty much all we can do is just pray.
I've been in Harvey all my life, and it's just not like it used to be, how I grew up.
You find you bring the kids in earlier now?
Yeah, oh yeah, and they stay right here, nowhere else.
Who do you blame for this?
Police presence, put it like that, you know what I'm saying, riding around, seeing what's going on in the community, even get out, meet the people.
It's affecting everyone at their core here. It's not a single thing of guns, gun rights or whatever. It's not a single thing of just that. It's a gamut of things. It's a lot of things that come into this pot.
I've been here for over 50-some years. I raised my kids here. I am scared.
So far this year, homicides are tracking at a slower pace than they were in 2018, but they're still near the top for an American city, last year exceeding the murder rates of both New York and LA. But for the people in these at-risk communities, the statistics, they don't mean all that much. They're suffering from unacceptable levels of routine violence. Joining me now is Tony Robinson, former Chicago police officer in the Violent Crimes Division, former homicide detective Joseph Mosley, and a former homicide detective and 30-year veteran of the Chicago Police Department, and Anthony Williams, pastor and activist here in Chicago. Tony, I want to start with you. I mean, it is hard to watch that story. The facts, the promise of a young girl cut short needlessly. She's one, though, of hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of African American youth who get caught up in this type of violence. People watching tonight want to know, what do we do? How do we stop this?
Well, first of all, we cannot police our way out of this. This has to come from the community. And being a homicide detective, it hurts me just as much when I can't solve that crime. When I cannot get members of the community who knows, and I understand it, because they have to live there. They don't want to talk to the police. We need back our programs that we used to have on the police department, like Officer Friendly, the Explorer Scouts. Take the youth, give them something to do. We have to really be involved with our community and our youth. And when I worked, I did 29 years. Everybody that knew me knew I was a good cop. And I worked my butt off. And I continue to volunteer, go to the academy, talk to our young recruits. Policing is a state of mind, not a state of being. You can't just put someone off the street and say you're the police. They complain about training. You know something? Do what you were trained to do. You know, everybody wants to yell about, oh, we need more training. No, do what you were trained to do. Treat people with empathy, be fair, and understand that just because someone lives in a project or a torn down neighborhood, they don't have that mentality. And it's just a very few people that's in our community that raises all this confusion.
We're going to get back to your son, who is now a new police officer.
God bless him.
In Chicago.
Absolutely.
You didn't even know he was applying for the academy?
No, I didn't.
He's a new police officer.
Thank you very much.
Anthony, I want to go to you because you're an activist. You have been engaged on this issue here as a faith leader, as a community activist for years and years. People say, well, it's getting better. Be patient. It's going to be okay. It's getting better. It's trending better. Do you feel that? And do you understand what Tony says about this is not a policing problem, it's a community problem?
I lost a son to violence February 21st, 2018, near Maya Williams. Violence is the #1 problem of the 21st century.
Thank you.
What we did, our response was to talk with our state representatives, Hernandez, Ford, and Lilly. We got a resolution passed. Violence is a health crisis. The next step is we are preparing to walk to Springfield on October the 14th. And the goal is to pass comprehensive legislation on violence as a health crisis and a disease. The system of violence is overwhelming. We all as citizens must deal with this alligator, this Leviathan. This issue of violence is everyone's fight. History shows us in America, when you want to come at an injustice or an evil, legislation. Now, we can't legislate ourselves out of this or police ourselves out of this, but we need civility right now. Yes. Civility is important. Violence ain't cool. Civility is powerful. This is a human health crisis. No one is safe, no matter where you live. Mm-hmm. So we are working towards comprehensive legislation.
Involving what?
The comprehensive legislation will be under health care. The CDC has said that violence is a disease, but it's not a contagion. We don't need vaccines, but we need comprehensive legislation. Same things with like cigarettes. You know, it's almost un-American not to smoke at a bar, but you can't smoke at a bar anymore. Why? Because of the law. It is the law that moves the needle. When Dr. King and others got together, we need an end game. We're dealing with the demon of segregation, legislation. So this is just one of many methods. I work towards solution. We know about the problem, but we came along, and with our legislators, we are about to have a game changer that's going to deal with the issue of violence like never before.
Joseph, the police distrust level, community to police. Gallup poll showing this in Chicago, it's not great. It's not great. Most people polled in the community say they either know someone or they themselves have had a bad interaction with police. How do you, as a former police officer, feel when you hear that? Because, as we heard from Tony, this is a commitment. To be a police officer in today's day and age, being outgunned and oftentimes understaffed, you're dealing with a difficult hurdle to clear, yet the community needs you.
Well, I think the problem there is that we misidentify what the real problems are. As my learned colleague said, you cannot legislate your way out of this. You can't delegate your way out of it. However, we have to take a more holistic approach. Understand that this is a mental health crisis. Understand that we're looking at another group of second-generation crack babies looking at learning disorders. So we have to look at this from a holistic approach and say, well, what else do we do? And understand that a lot of police officers have a big misunderstanding of what their job is. We are social workers. For all intents and purposes, for all the rhetoric that you hear, we don't get out the car with the gun out. You're supposed to get out there to help people. Plain and simple. Serve and protect, not to protect and serve. And I think that the message gets convoluted. The other problem is that we have to have a paradigm shift within the police department. There has to have another face that says, listen, everybody's not your enemy.
ABC News reporting last week, dangerous week leaves Chicago police officers besieged by violence and loss. A veteran officer with the department's fugitive apprehension unit was shot, critically wounded, on West Englewood early Saturday morning. The officer was serving a warrant to take into custody a suspect accused of shooting a woman while riding a bike in the Fulton River District. Hours earlier, 2 other Chicago police officers were injured after being dragged by a fleeing vehicle outside of White Castle near the city's Bronzeville neighborhood. His female partner was hospitalized in serious condition with 2 collapsed lungs and fractured ribs. I want to return now to the current leader of the city, Mayor Lori Lightfoot. Now, we invited her to be part of this town hall. We would have loved to have had her here. City Hall is just a few miles from here. I know she's very busy, but she declined our invitation. That's okay. But especially with the impending teacher strike, there's a lot going on. I do hope that she joins us on the show another time, whether back in Washington, the door is open. She has an open invitation. Yesterday, Mayor Lightfoot did take time out of her schedule, though, to assail U.S. immigration officials. ICE has begun a major effort here to remove violent criminal illegal aliens from the streets, also adding to some of the problems here. The mayor, rather than welcoming those efforts, chose to defend her city's sanctuary policies that hinder federal law enforcement.
We are not going to tolerate letting ICE terrorize our immigrant and refugee communities. We will never, ever succumb to the racist, xenophobic rhetoric of ICE. We will continue to ban ICE from having access to any CPD databases. We will not allow any CPD officer to cooperate with anything related to ICE and its immigration raids.
Tony, so the police officers I've talked to say that makes our lives harder because now ICE has to go into the communities to look for these criminal. These aren't like mothers and fathers working in restaurants. Yeah. These are criminal aliens who are in the communities, in gangs, pushing Florenzia 13, all these other Latin Kings in these neighborhoods, and now ICE has to go there. They can't arrest them in the court and outside the courtrooms. Your thoughts on that? How does that affect the job of police?
Let me be perfectly clear for anybody in this audience. I'm a black man first. I'm a police officer second. I was a victim of police brutality. That's why I joined the police department. Then I had to sue the police department to get on because I was discriminated against. So all my career has been upholding the law. And if someone is breaking the law, I wouldn't care who they are. If they're illegal, if they are legal, I'm going to assist any of the other agencies that come in here.
Joseph, doesn't that just make sense? I mean, these are criminal, illegal aliens who are running drugs, narcotics rings, gangs inside this city, and the mayor is saying, no, we will not cooperate with federal authorities here.
I think for me, the biggest problem is that people, all of us in this room, use this term common sense. Well, if common sense was so common, there wouldn't be no need for this. So I'll leave it at that.
All right. All of you. Tony, Anthony, and Joseph, thank you so much. Tony and Anthony, I'm going to see you back here later on in the show when we take questions from our great audience tonight.